In this video, we need to get our site ready to put the products on. Before we do that, we need to get it so that it's search engine optimized. This is going to help us in the search engine listings. We've already set the domain name to be the same as our keyword, or at least the folder part of the domain name. We've got the title set. Now what we need to do is add some plugins that will help us rank in the search engine. So to do that, what we'll do is we'll go to plugins. And then what we want to do is add new. Click on add new in the side there. And then what we want to do is we want to go to popular. The reason being is because the popular ones are going to be at the top always because they're the ones that work the best. And we're going to want to install the following: Google XML Sitemap and all-in-one SEO pack. Okay, so let's do that. All you have to do here is click install, the first one, and then tell it to install now right here. Now, what it's doing here is it's going to upload it to our server for us from WordPress. And to do that, we have to put in our FTP information. The FTP information is the same that we put in our FTP program called FileZilla, and it's the same as our cPanel login. So all you have to do is put that information in here. So the host name is our domain name. Then you put your username and password in here that the hosting provider gave you or that you chose. Okay, connection type is FTP. All you have to do now is click proceed and it will upload it for us. And this takes a few minutes for it to get finished. Now let's go back to the plugin installer and then we'll go back to popular again. And then we're going to install the all-in-one SEO pack. Same procedure, click install. Click install now up here. Okay, here's your information still here. Click proceed. And it will upload that one as well. Alright, so that one is done as well. Now this time we can activate the plugin from here. And it's just telling us that we need to configure it. So we go to the admin page, just click in there. And from here, we can enable it. Click enabled. And you should think about making a donation if you haven't made one before for this plugin. It's really good, so you can make a donation there if you want. Now here, we're going to do a little bit of search engine optimization. Now what we're going to do, again, is use our main keyword or key phrase in here. Okay, so we use this first one here. Now we do have more than one keyword, but I just chose to use the first one because it is, I think, the best keyword. That's why I used it. And we are going to use the other keywords, and we're going to get to that in a little while in case you were wondering. Okay, so we do the same thing here. Just put capital letters on the front. Okay, same thing in the description here. Okay, so keywords. So again, use your main keyword here. Now, we can go and get the rest of our list of keywords from our keyword list here. I've only got one other here, but normally I would have several more keywords in this, many more. But I only did a small subset for our demonstration. Okay, so put a comma between all your keywords and then any other keywords that you can think of that should be in here. So free cell phones, etc. So just put some keywords in here that are relevant for your site. Okay, now these are already set for you. You don't have to change any of these because they've already done everything for you correctly. Now, of course, you can change them if you want. Now, if you look at this, what this is telling you is that it's going to put the category title in here, a pipe, and then the blog title. And that's going to be the category title format. Okay, so that's what all of these are telling you. Post title format is going to be the post title followed by the blog title with a pipe in between. Okay, so that's what it's telling you there. Okay, now this point, all you have to do is update the options. Okay, that part of the search engine optimization is done. Now we still need to go back to plugins because we only enabled the first plugin. Okay, so now what we need to do is activate the Google XML sitemap. So go there and activate it. Clicking on activate. And now we need to go and change some settings. Okay, so let's go into settings first. Now, remember we put in free cell phones with contracts, but the tagline stayed at the default. That's what it does in the installer. Unlike in the cPanel version through Fantastico, you can enter what you want here. So what we're going to do here is, again, we're going to get our key phrase in here. Okay, and then we'll put a site all about finding free cell phones with contracts. Okay, now you can decide if you want anybody to be able to register here. We don't really want anybody to register on this site. You can set your time zone here. And if you want the dates and the time different, you can change that there. Okay, so let's click on that. Okay, writing. We want to change the update service down here. Right now there's only one update service in there. I've given you a list that you can post in there. It's in the docs directory. Okay, so here's what it looks like. So just grab this whole list here. Do a copy. Okay, and then what you want to do is just overwrite that one. So overwrite that, just select it, and then do a paste. Save the changes. Now what will happen is every time a post is made, it'll notify those update services. We're going to leave reading for a minute. Let's go to discussion. Now you're not going to want anybody to comment on your blog. The reason is because they're going to put their comments in through Amazon. So it allows us to have that on our site. We don't need this. So make sure that we disable comments. Okay, so just uncheck all these first three. Okay, now here it says users must be registered and logged in to comment. Click on that too. We don't allow them to register anyway, so this is going to keep them from being able to comment. Okay, next thing you want to do is unclick anyone can post a comment and make sure a comment is held for moderation is checked. That way they can never get onto your blog. They might somehow be able to get them on unmoderated if they find a way, but it's never going to actually appear on the site. Okay, at this point we can just go down and save the changes. Next thing, just go into privacy and make sure that it's visible to everyone, including the search engine, that is checked. Sometimes if you install with Fantastico, it does it wrong, so come in here, make sure that's correct. Permalinks. This is another important function of search engine optimization. What happens here is that normally your URL to your post will look like this. It'll be the URL to your site and then a question mark and the page number, P=123, or the post number there. And there's different ways you can do this. Now what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to use a custom structure. So click on custom structure. I've included this in the resources document, so we'll just set this like this. So what this is going to do is it's going to put the category name and the post name in as your URL. Okay, so it's going to be all of this up to here, free cell phones with contract / the category name the post is in, and then the name of the post, which is the title of the post. Now I'm going to show you a little more about categories in a minute. So let's save the changes here. Now if you look down here, it tells us that we need to add some code to the htaccess file, .htaccess file. Okay, so grab all of this code in here, do a copy, and then what we need to do is go back to FileZilla again. Let's open that up. And in here we would be looking for a file called .htaccess. Now there isn't one in here right now, so we're going to have to create one. The easiest way to do that is to create one on our own computer and then upload it. So let's go to our working directory here. And then let's just create a new file. We'll do a text document and then just call it htaccess. Like that. Okay, now we're going to upload that. So let's find it on this side. There it is there. So let's just upload that. And here it is here. Now we need to rename it. Get this off the end here and put a dot in front of it. So it's .htaccess. Now what we can do is we can change the file attributes. Let's make this 666. Now if we go back here and just do the save the changes again, it has now updated the htaccess file for us. If we were to view that now, there would be a number of entries in there. We don't need to worry about it. It already did that for us. And you'll see what we did with this when we get to that point. Now at this point, we want to go and set up our categories. So let's go up here to where it says Post. Click on that. And then go to Categories. Now what we want to do is create a category for each one of our keyword phrases. Okay, so let's start with our main keyword phrase that we built our whole site around. Do that, and then what we want to do is add that. So just free cell phones with contracts. Okay, and then just add category. Next thing we want to do is pick the next one. So you could make a category for each of the keyword phrases that you have in your list. And we'll add the category. All right. Now, the next thing we need to do is edit our posts. WordPress by default puts some posts and pages in here. So what we want to do is just delete them. So we'll just trash. Same with pages. Go to pages. And we want to trash this. Now let's go back to our FTP program here and htaccess. We refresh this, you notice that there are 269 records in there now. We need to reset the permissions. So go back in here, set these to 6, 4, 4, like that. And click OK. We do that for security reasons. That way nobody can go changing the htaccess file on us. Alright, back to here. What we're going to do now is add a home page. Okay, this is just going to be a quick blurb. This is going to help us get accepted to the Amazon affiliate program. So we're going to have something on here. So just make a quick home page telling people about what they're going to find on the site. Okay, so I started out with my main key phrase in the title, and then I also have it in the first sentence. I also have it sprinkled in here as well. So I have about 150 words or so. You should try and get about 150 words. And that's really all you need to do. We'll publish this. Then what we need to do is go back to settings again. And then we need to go to reading. And we need to set our home page to a static page. So click on a static page, and then on our front page, select the page that you just created. Okay, down here where it says blog pages show at most 10 posts, let's set this to 99. And then same with this, let's set syndicated fees to 99. We'll leave it at full text. Click Save Changes. Okay, let's go have a look at our site. If we visit the site, Okay, here's our pages, and we don't have anything under categories yet because this is a page, not a post. So there's our home page all set up there. Now, the next thing we need to do is to get a proper theme so that our site has the right look. Before we go and do the theme, actually there's one more thing we should do here. Go into settings, and then down here go to XML sitemap, because we haven't set this up yet. The reason we waited until now is because we wanted to get rid of the junk posts off here before we did this, because we don't want to notify Google about any junk posts. Now the first thing we're going to have to do is go again back to FileZilla, reconnect here, and all we have to do is create a folder called sitemap. So create a directory and just call it sitemap. This should be in the same directory that your site is in. So we'll call it sitemap. Then right click on it, set the file attributes to 777. Alright, now let's go back here, and what we want to do is roll down till we see location of your sitemap file. And what we want to do is use a custom location. So click on custom location and then go to the end here, and then just before sitemap.xml put the folder name that we just created in there. So we put in sitemap and a slash. Okay, so we have cell phones with contract slash sitemap/sitemap.xml. We need to do the same thing in here as well. Sitemap slash sitemap.xml. Now what we need to do is just go to the bottom, click Update Options, and then we need to build our sitemap for the first time. So just click here where it says the sitemap wasn't built. Click here to build the first time. So we'll click that, and it will go ahead and build our sitemap for us. And as you can see, the search engines were notified of our new page that we put on there. Now it's time to set the theme. We go to Appearance here, just click on Appearance, and then we need to find a theme that fits. A couple ways to do this. You can go here, click on Add a New Theme, and then you can go through here, pick the different columns and so on that you might want to search for. But all we're going to do here is we're going to put cell phone in here and click Search. I didn't get anything there. Let's just try phone here. We do a search, and then we can preview what we find here. We can preview this. Okay, so if that one's suitable, we could go ahead and use that one. Just click the X up here to make it go away, and then you can preview the other one here. We didn't get much of a selection by doing a search this way. Okay, that one's not so good. Now the other thing we can do is go to Google and do a search. So what we do is we just go to Google, and then in the keywords we type in free WordPress theme and then our key phrase, so cell phone. Do a search here, and then we can have a look and see what we see. And if we find something that we like, we can download it and use that one. We can preview. Okay, so you can just go through this until you find one that you like. Okay, so here's this one. Okay, so if you like that one, you could download it. I'm going to download this one and install it. I'm also going to show you how to install one from the WordPress site. It works exactly the same as when we installed plugins, but this one will upload. So first we'll download it, then we'll upload it to our site. So let's click download here. And then we want to save this to our folder. Okay, and here it is here. So let's go back to our WordPress blog here. And first, let's just install this one here. Just click install. Remember, we did a search for this through WordPress. Click install now. Okay, again, we need to put in our FTP information in here and then click proceed. Okay, so it is now installed for us. What we can do is activate it. And when we hit visit site now, this is what it looks like. Now the other thing we can do, let's go back here, we can upload the one that we just downloaded. So again, click add new theme. Up here click upload and then browse for it on your computer. Okay, so here it is, cell phone news. Click install now. I just see here we got an error, and you may well get this as well. And what it's telling us is that it's not finding the directory. So let's go back to our FTP program. Let's go into WP-content, and there's no uploads directory in here. So what we need to do is create a directory called uploads. Now if you already have an uploads directory in here, you of course don't have to do that part. But then what you need to do is go into file attributes, make sure this is 777. Click OK. So if you already had uploads there, make sure that the permission is set right. That's inside the WP content directory. Okay, now let's go back here. Let's install now. Okay, again, we have to put in our FTP information, then proceed. Okay, as you see, the theme has been installed successfully. Okay, so let's activate this one now. Okay, and then let's go have a look. And here is what this one's going to look like. Okay, so at any time you can change your theme. Just pick the one you want out of the list that you have down here if you've already installed it. Then click activate up here. And that will change the look back to this one. Okay, so that's part one. Next thing we need to do is go into widgets. Widgets determine what's shown on the sidebar of your screen. Okay, so the only thing we're going to really want to show on here, well, first we're going to want to show the categories. We could put in here phone categories and save. Okay, the next thing we're going to want to do is put in our recent posts. And you could put in here hot items. And then we'll put 15 here. And save. And then we're going to want to put our archives as well. Okay, let's That's fine the way it is. We should probably move categories underneath the recent posts there. And that's all we need there. Okay, now just to make sure everything works right, just click on dashboard up here. There was once a bug where it wouldn't save that information if you went right to view the site. So we'll click on dashboard. Now we will visit this site. Okay, now of course we don't have any posts on here yet. When we did, these things will all work properly. Okay, so that's all there is to that. Let's just go back into appearance again here. Make sure we got that set right. The recent post category and archives. Okay, so that's all we need to do. Our site is now set up. The next step is to go on apply to Amazon and then to get our items on our site.